these niggas think it ain't crazy out here.
Hey, welcome to iHeart Intellectual Radio Chronicles of Rohm. I am your host, Alan J. Campbell, aka the Bat Man. Hey, listen, we're gonna jump right into a couple of things. Stand by for 1 second, but we are going to definitely jump in to tonight's topic. We're gonna get. I'm gonna go right into this thing about the current climate that we are in right now with our country. Basically, tomorrow is November 6th. It's election day. Election day. Now I might get down, dirty, and raw, and might use some language that might be off, that might offend some people. But you know me. That's just me. That is just me, and that's the beauty of this show, because we are allowed to say and and to be opinionated. This is where we are at now. To start off, right now we have several candidates running for all different types of offices. But what I really want to hit home is that I'm gonna let you know right up front right now. I'm not voting. I'm not going to vote because my one vote does not count. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Not a damn thing. I was just watching the news about 10 minutes ago and watching this endless line of jackasses, niggas, heading to the polls or heading to early voting. And that's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. I didn't bite my tongue. I didn't miss my words. A line of jackasses, niggas, heading to the. Understand something. You've been voting Democrat for the last 60 years. What have you got from? What have you got out of it? What have you got out of it? Now, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and to each its own. Okay, I get that. Totally understandable. But we got a bunch of lame ducks, and this asshole Obama kind of helped create this atmosphere of where we're at, because this jackass, this fool, he didn't safeguard anything, but here he is. He's out stomping the trail for other politicians. This nigga didn't even come to the Chicago at all when he was in office 8 years, but now you're gonna make your trek back. Look, nigga, lose me. You and Michael. Please lose me. Because I'm not even subscribing to all of this. None, zip, zero, nada. Now, one of the things that people are so, just woo about this and woo about that, they get to talking about, well, Trump this and Trump that. But let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. It's not that I support him, it's that I agree with the way that he's doing things, and I agree with the way that he's going about it, because we have to understand something, that the United States is a business and you are a commodity. Everyone out there who has a social security number, you are a commodity. You are a good. You are the product that they use to move forward. And as I said last week's show, you're not voting for senators or representatives. You're not voting for governors. You're not voting for mayors. You're not voting for aldermen. You're not voting for any, especially with the general election, with this midterm election. You are voting for who they are going to back in the 2020 presidential election, which when you vote, this gathers, this creates the pool of electoral college votes. When are you niggas going to wake up and realize these people are using you to bridge their gap When are you going to understand and say, this does not benefit me? This does not help. How does this help me? I can't begin to tell you how many fools and jackasses that I've seen come out or have been walking the streets and with a little sticker to say, I voted. No, it should say, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I am the proverbial jackass. And I can't stress this enough on the Democrats mascot. When are we as Black people are going to fully understand that this is what they do and how they continue to use us? Now, the 14th Amendment, and see, this is where we have to do our homework. And before I get too far and too deep, the phone lines are open as we speak. If you have a comment or you want to join in and you have something you want to say, please, by all means, give me a call here at the studio at 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. We are talking about this madness that is called an election. This country has lost its way. See, one of the things that people tend to say is that, oh, Donald Trump has kind of created an environment of hate and violence and dissension. No, he hasn't. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's been here. We just allowed white America to pull the proverbial sheet over our head and made us believe that it wasn't happening because they led us to believe that we are accepted among them. No, we're not. We will never be accepted. The brown people are more accepted than the black. And if you don't know, look around. Every time you turn around, you see a political commercial. This person bashing that person bashing this person, and so on and so on and so on. You have a total of 51 women that are running for elected offices. That is the most. In U.S. history. The most in U.S. history. Right now, I'm looking at a news feed right now of a trainload of these jackasses, this trainload of Negroes running down to the polls for early voting. When do you want to figure this out? What are they doing for you? How does this help you? How does this benefit you? Because I'm gonna let you know, like I said at the top of the show, I lost all faith and I lost all respect in voting after after this asshole Obama just completely crawfished us on the deal. That's exactly. It's not that I say that I despise the man or I hate the man. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is a guy who completely us over in such a way to it's almost impossible to recover. It's almost impossible. Without a doubt. I got more faith and belief in a chicken drumstick winning the election than half of the people that are out here. Because what's happened is that Donald Trump has basically turned this country on its head. And no, let me rephrase that. He has exposed this country as for what she really is. It's very simply put. See, when you think about Lady Liberty, you're thinking about keyword Lady Liberty. But what happened? Donald Trump raised the robe of Lady Liberty, and instead of finding a peach, he found a banana and some grapes. That's what he found, and that's what continues to happen. He raised a robe and said, "Oh, there we go. We found a banana and some cherries. Here we go." But we as Black people, we keep being bent over the table, and we're taking that banana, and we're taking it happily. This is us. Just keep going, keep going. That's what it looks like when you keep voting Democrat. And the Democrats keep doing what they're doing to you. It's very simple. It's just that's what they're doing to you. And if you don't know, look around, look over the last 15 years. Look over the last 10 years, the last 10. Look at it. People, open your eyes. Open your eyes. And as I said at the top of the show, this show is going to be raw. Every time I turn on the TV, every time I'm sitting there watching, I could be watching a sports game, an event, a game, and in between that, the commercials, it's something about this person, something about that person. At what point? I remember years ago as a young man, and not really fully understanding how politics work, and being told to, hey, you know what? When I turned 18 and I was in that position and I was able, and I was old enough to vote, I was told by my parents, you go in and you vote Democrat. Never understood why. Never even asked the question on how come. I just did what was norm. What was the norm? What was the norm? But understand, niggas have been voting Democrat since 1961. Here we are in 2018, and just literally around the corner from 2019. Now, there are some things that maybe, that a lot of people that don't agree with Trump. See, we don't agree with Trump because we've been indoctrinated into believing that Republicans are no good for us, or that we don't understand them. Remember now, Andrew Jackson, who was president of the United States, Andrew Jackson, who was a Democrat, was the very person who wanted to keep slavery going. He also had slaves. So help me understand something. Why would you support something like that? Now, here's another thing. And if you don't believe me, let me rephrase that. If you are watching the show right now, if you're watching or you're listening, I want you to Google now. And if there's absolutely no flipping reason why you can't find this. I want you to Google the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment ensures that people who are, or what it did is that it ensured people that were born on U.S. soil, they automatically become U.S. citizens now, or who were here who are illegal immigrants, who are undocumented illegal immigrants, or who were born on U.S. soil, you automatically become a U.S. citizen. Okay, now, word has it that Donald Trump wants to rescind that. It's called birth of citizenship, meaning that he wants to put an end to it because actually, truth be told, and he should, because it's outdated. What you're doing is that basically you're rewarding people, and this goes back to the immigration situation. You're rewarding people for breaking the law. That's what you're doing. Here it is. I've been here all my life, and I can't get half of the things that these brown people get, or the ones that have come here illegally and have children, and now they're U.S. citizens and they're entitled to Medicare and Medicaid, food stamps, certain jobs. They're getting certain tax credits. These particular things. So help me understand, why are we rushing to the polls to vote Democrat for people who don't give a good goddamn about us? Why? Who don't? The 14th Amendment was created. This was after slavery. And the idea was to say that everybody that is here on U.S. soil are citizens. This was designed, and the 14th Amendment was designed for black for blacks and free blacks. This was after slavery had ended. It was actually, the 14th Amendment was actually for us. But I didn't see Obama running out. I didn't see I didn't see this fool Obama or his wife Michael. I didn't see them running out there or running over the Congress saying, "Hey, we need to change this. We need to straighten this out." I didn't see that. Not at all. The 14th Amendment was for black people. Read it. It explains to you what the parameters of citizenship is. And here we are in 2018, and we are still not considered citizens. So help me figure out what's wrong with this picture. What is wrong with this picture? See, we're too busy as we're chasing the wrong dog. We are chasing the wrong dog, as we always do. Always do. Sometimes we find ourselves engaging in a conversation or engaging in activity that we do it only because Joe Sausagehead or Joe Schmo said this or did it. But we don't have a reason or we can't even validate our own reasons on why we do it. Why do you vote Democrat? Well, because my mama voted, because my parents voted Democrat, and my grandparents voted. No, my question is, why do you vote Democrat? That's my question. Half of these knuckleheads couldn't even give me an answer. They didn't even know why. They just did it because somebody else did it. That's what's wrong with us. The unfortunate part about a lot of us is that we're not even qualified to be good followers, let alone leaders, and getting off into the leaders, which is a completely whole nother topic, is just ridiculous. The proverbial thing, as I said once, I said it 1,000 times. We are the type of individuals, or some of us anyway, are the type of individuals that you can lead. You can stick anything out in front of us and out in front, and we will follow it. We won't question it. We won't. Because we've been indoctrinated to believe that what's being told to us is good, instead of actually looking at it overall and saying, wait a minute, does this make any sense to me? Does this make any sense? Right now, here in the state of Illinois, we have so many people running for so many different offices. It's just absolutely mind blowing. You can't can't tell the players without a scorecard, from Fat Boy Pritzker to I don't know what I'm doing Rauner. You just can't. You don't know. You don't know with this the milk dud head boy Kwame Raoul opposed to Erica Harrell, who are both running for the office of Attorney General. Truth be told, I don't think any of these people can fight their way out of a wet paper bag with a pair of dull scissors. And the others, I wouldn't put in charge of a glass of water with a potato gun. That's how messed up this situation really, really is. You got all these people running for 11 different dozen offices, and not a single solitary person can actually really give us any type of viability, because everyone is for themselves. Oh, when I get down to Springfield, I'm going to make strong reforms. I'm going to say, well, if I'm not going to take a pension, and I'm going to create a bill to where we eliminate the pensions, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Make no mistake, jackass, you're only one person against 99. I've never seen the last time. Let me put it this way. There's never been a fair fight. There's never been a fair fight since the first man picked up a stick and beat the second man's ass with it. There's never been a fair fight. And that's exactly what this is. You got a lot of people who are saying what they want to do, but none of them are viable. None of them have any clue, and they're just have gotten so indulged in themselves till they have forgotten the reason why they are in office. The bad part is that we keep putting some of these jokers back in. We keep doing it. We keep doing it. We keep doing it. When do you wake? When do you, there's an old saying about insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's exactly what it boils down to. And this is where we're at with this foolishness of what we got. I guarantee you, if you turn on your tube right now, or if you happen to be looking at it at some point or another, in between your TV shows, you're going to see at least, and I kid you not, I can't make this up, you're going to see at least 5 campaign ads that will absorb 2 minutes and 30 seconds of TV time. Right now, Bruce Rauner and Fat Boy, this is going to be pegged as the most expensive governor's race in U.S. history. The amount of money these two assholes are spending. The thing, and why I say that, is because here's the thing: you're spending money because of what? Are you spending money for the people? Or are you spending money for yourself? This is where we've gotten lost in the translation. This is where about politics and where we're at right now. This is where we're at. See, the thing is that we have to, some point or another, we have to say to ourselves that we have to stand for something, and we have to make a change. We have to open our eyes and realize that there are some things that are just not for. There's some things that we shouldn't even be indulged in. Shouldn't be. There's enough of us, and I say enough, and I say us, I'm referencing the Black community, to where we can take over if we had the right mentality. If we had the right mentality. That's the downside with a lot of us. I heard somebody say one day, some time ago, I'm sorry, not one day, but some time ago, is that the fact that Black people should automatically get to go to heaven because we didn't already caught hell. I disagree. Because some of the hell that we catch, we bring upon ourselves. With that being said, at what point does one nationality supersede another? The only way you get to heaven is the heaven is a merit system. You got to score points to get there. You got to score points. You got to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it's not making backroom deals with the devil. It's not cutting side deals with his minions. It's not doing any of that. It is doing the right thing. Regardless to what may be said about you or how you feel, it is doing the right thing. There was talk about there's a couple of candidates that they were referencing that are NRA supporters, and for those for the slow people in the room, or riding the short yellow bus, or who are completely deaf, dumb, and blind, the NRA stands for the National Rifle Association. Make no mistake, The NRA runs America. They have more money than you believe. The United States is a gun culture. Remember now, these were some of the same bastards that will get up and go to church on a Sunday morning singing Bringing in the Sheaves, but at the same time saying but at the same time we're handing out ammunition to go out on their next hunt for niggas. And not only that, but after after they went out on their hunt, this is a true story, and hang these niggas from the trees in back of the church while sitting there having a Sunday meal. This is a gun culture. This is the type of a mentality that we're dealing with. United States is a gun culture, and the NRA is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Do you honestly think they're going to let anybody interfere with that? Honestly, I'm not opposed to guns. Make no mistake. I'm not opposed to them. If you're using a firearm in the manner that it was designed, fine. But if you're one of these yahoos that are out there and have them and not supposed to, and creating madness and havoc, well, you deserve everything you got coming. Everything. I'm not, and truth be told, I'm not gonna lose one night's sleep over or shed a tear when whatever happens when you're out there doing something you're not supposed to be doing with these guns. The NRA are the essential financier of Congress. And when you really dig into each and every one of these congresspersons, and I'm talking about both the Senate and the House, when you dig in deep, you're going to find seven who are NRA supporters, or who are receiving funds from them. So when we really talk about certain levels of reform, I mean, let's be honest. Who are we really kidding? There's no real reform as long as the Second Amendment exists. Guns are going to be here. If you really want to do something or make a change, you have to look beyond the aspect of what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. You have to look deep and harder than that. One of the and that's where we're at. And when we get to talking about this election, there's a woman in Georgia. I want to make sure that I'm actually quoting this correctly. There's a woman in Georgia. That's running for governor in Georgia, and some of the things that she has said has been quoted. Her name is Stacey Abrams. Now look, I can't make this up. Look up this sea donkey and look at some of the things that she has said. This is one of the reasons why white America continues to look at us, don't take us seriously, and look at us as the proverbial jackass, porch monkey, coon that we continue to validate. This woman, I kid you not, I can't make this up. This is a woman who's running for governor of the state of Georgia. Now, here's the thing. Georgia's known for two things: peaches and peanuts. That's the state of that, that's it. That's the state of former President Jimmy Carter. Peanuts. He was called the peanut farmer. This is a dude who's a peanut farmer and ran for president and flipping won. Now back to Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams went on to say, who needs agriculture when you can just get food at the store? Quote, Stacey Abrams, candidate for governor of the state of Georgia. Yes, she actually said something. She actually said this, and is she really this damn stupid? Yes. Here's the thing. Agricultural states, and if anybody has if you have a damn brain in your head, you would understand what states are your agricultural states. These are the very states that keep the stock market running, going with certain commodities. Okay, you have Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, and I believe Mississippi, just to name a few, which are agricultural states, which means it's a good amount of product of food comes from there. But this dummy says, why do we need agriculture when you can just go to the store? Hey, jackass, how do you think the food gets to the store? Yeah, right. How do you think it gets there? Because you have to harvest it, you dummy. Then you process it, then it gets to the store. But this is the woman that's being supported by another clucker, Oprah Winfrey. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. She's a clucker. See, we continue. See, and what she's striving to do is to become not only the first woman governor in the let me rephrase that. She's striving to become the first African American. See, once again, here we go again with this bull. African American. No, let's just call it. I like to say, I'm calling tonight. It's going to be the show. Call it what it is. Become the first black female governor. Look, listen, sweetie, not going to happen. Tell you that right now, because you are in a state to where you're going to get the deepest, darkest crackers to come out of it'll be some that'll come out of the very woodworks. It will some that will turn over in their grave, that will crawl out of the grave just to crawl down to the polling place so you don't sit your black ass in the governor's chair. It's just that simple. We have to look at things for what they really are, not what we want it to be. Moving down to Florida, we got another Negro who's sitting around news stations telling campfire stories about his grandmother. Nobody want to hear that. They don't even give a damn about it. But see, once again, this is us. This is us being the proverbial Al Jolson step and fetch it fools that white America has continuously said that we are. This is it. Once again, this is us. This is us. You shake your head and say there just can't. You look at this and you just say there just cannot be people that stupid on the face of the earth. There just can't be. Oh, and another thing that Stacey Abrams said. She goes on to say, she went on to say, and she said this in an open forum, that we should allow documented and undocumented immigrants to vote. Are you out of your mind? Here's the thing. Let me go back. Now, here we are in Georgia, in the southern state, and going back 50 years to where people were dying, being murdered, killed, executed, just for that simple right as a U.S. citizen. And this heifer says we should allow documented and undocumented workers the right to vote. Are you out of your mind? This is the thing that we have to continue. We have to, as people, we have to wake the hell up and listen. Sometimes even listen to what we are saying. As Chris Tucker said I can't think of the movie right offhand, but he said, "Are you listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth? She listening to the words that are coming out of her mouth?" Just that simple. Is she listening to the words that are coming out of her mouth? She sounds like a damn fool. A damn fool. If you really was going to do, if this woman really was going to do something, she would have gathered all the blacks or pulled them to say, we need to do this. This is what we need to do. How to go about it. How to do it. But I'm gonna take a break right quick right now while my man is he's back on duty. Okay, so we're gonna take us a little break right quick here. Okay. Uh hey, if you want some fabulous food, chicken, shrimp, and fish, check out my man Captain Hooks at 85th and Cottage Grove, 103rd and King Drive, and 15922 Kedzie in Markham. Nubian Beauty of Hair. Check out their website, Luxury Hair Direct, luxuryhairdirect.com/by/ Nubian 4 dot. And remember, put the dot on the end of that 4. Hey, we'll be right back here on the Chronicles of Rohm.
New shit, they call me Batman, cause the black mask is on my face, gun up on my waist, booted and suited in them black case. I'm looking for some hood rats that I take to the back cave. Y'all lame like blank man, while I'm steady serving them like pistol on my utility belt. Like, yeah, I keep my identity to myself. Like, you don't want me to grab that thing from the shelf. Like, I call them Robin, cause that's my only help, right? Okay. Girls hit my bat signal when they know that I'm coming. I say I ain't here for nothing, now give me that cat woman. That's when we started stomach pumping. Somebody had started thumping, she jumped up and caught her breath like, did you hear something? As soon as I get
Hey, we're back here at iHeart Intellectual Radio, the Chronicles of Rohm. I am your host, Alan J. Campbell, aka The Dark Knight. We're talking about this upcoming midterm election day 2018, tomorrow, November 6th, and how we are going to run out here or run over ourselves, take off work, do a half a day. Some of us not even going to work to join in this proverbial sideshow, because that's exactly what it is. It's a sideshow. And we happen to be the main attraction. That's how it boils down to. Because make no mistake, throughout the history, or let me refer to when it was first discovered that no politician was going to effectively win without the colored, without the black, without the Negro vote. That was the plan. They already knew they had a plan. And they figured it out. They figured it out quicker than we did. They figured it out. There's never been an election ever been won without the minority vote. The minority vote. And remember now, we were considered minorities long before the brown people even were considered to be eligible to be called citizens. That's how it boils down. But now, as the winds of change, as the winds of change have turned, now brown people have become the predominant minority, and we're just once again at the back of the bus, the proverbial back of the bus. See, when we get to this point, see the other sticking point that with this election is immigration law. Immigration law. That's the other sticking point. But see, where are your black leaders? Where are your black politicians? Where are your black ministers? They should be outraged that we are being once again set aside. But what's happening is that history is repeating itself. That's all. This was happening to us 100 years ago. 100 years ago, to just, and that's just to keep it fresh in our mind. Because if we go further back, we can go further back and say to 18, do the 1840s and up until a point of 1865. Well, actually to a point of 1868, because that's when, almost to a point, the memo went out to say, hey, you all are free, when certain southern states actually kept blacks in slavery. And when the U.S. government sent when the U.S. Army went in to liberate these individuals. And the fact of the matter, and here's a little piece of history. Some of the slaves didn't even know that the emancipation had taken place, and they were still slaves. And what the holdouts, and I say this, the plantation owners or the slave owners, what they did is that they actually blocked the troops from getting into certain states. So what happens is that the U.S. Army had to come around up through Galveston to enter to Texas and through the other coastal states to liberate blacks who were still enslaved. You see how you see, and now mind you, and these were Democrats that were still enslaving people. I say it again. These were Democrats that were still enslaving people long after slavery had ended in 1865. These people didn't know that they were that they were free at all. They didn't know until 3 years after the fact. And once again, here we are now in 2018. And what it is, we are still enslaved by by what we've been told and taught about the democratic process. The democratic process means that everyone should have due process and equal under the law. If I go out here and I rob a bank, I'm going to get more time than my counterpart who did exactly the same thing. Where's the fairness in that? Where's the equality in that? I'm getting more time because the democratic process says I should, because I'm black. Our children, our male children, are not getting the resources that they should because they are black. And when I say the resources, I'm referencing the job training, the education, the schooling. I'm referencing these particular things, but a lot of us are gonna run our black asses out here to these polls tomorrow at 6:00 in the morning to 6:00 in the PM. This is what we're gonna do. How does that help and benefit you? How? Each and every time there's an election, we and I can understand the fact that we want to look for change. We want something different. But the only way that happens is that we have to make a concerted effort on doing this. We just can't wait for people to give it to us. We just can't. The unfortunate part, when I look at the pool of individuals that are running, how many blacks are running? How many blacks are actually running for for congressional jobs? That is that's the most disturbing part, is that there are a lot that are not running for congressional jobs, not senators, not for representatives. That's the most disturbing part. Most disturbing. And even with the ones that we have in Washington right now, keyword, the ones that we have a total of 51 black congressional members. 51 out of a total of 235, something like that. That should be more disturbing than anything. When we have 46 senators and 46 representatives and 5 senators. 5 out of 100. What's wrong? What's wrong with this picture? What is wrong with it? So, you want to run out there and you want to spend your heart, you want to spend your gas on running over to these polling places and supporting people who don't know you from a hole in the ground. Be my guest. I just won't be one of them. When I fully understand how this process worked and who was actually pulling the strings, I was outdone. I would say outdone. I was done. And I just clearly said, I'm just not going to do this anymore, because how does this help? How does this help and benefit me? At what point does this? At what point? At what point? Makes no sense to me. But you know what, y'all? That's all the time we have here for iHeart, for the Chronicles of Rohm here on iHeart Intellectual Radio. Just a shout out to a couple of people, to my guy over there at Captain Hooks, and my people out there in Galveston, and a couple of people down there in the great state of Georgia. Hey, Nubian Beauty of Hair. Check out their fabulous products on luxuryhairdirect.com/by/Nubian4. Remember, put the dot at the end of that 4. Captain Hooks, 85th and Cottage Grove, 103rd and King Drive, and 159th and Kedzie and Markham for some great food, which by the way, I'm stopping by there and getting me a 2-piece with a biscuit and fry. And in closing, not my monkey, not my circus. Till next week.
Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.